This is Hoodies. So listen. For some years now, for a while, but yeah, for some years now, I've been going on saying, Father's Day is every day. Father's Day is every day, right? But if I'm being honest, right here in this moment, right, my heart has softened. Not because I no longer believe that Father's Day, Mother's Day, Mental Health Month, for that matter. It's not because I don't. It's not because I no longer believe that it's every day. It's just that mental health is so serious, right? And the number of fathers, father figures, stepfathers that go unappreciated, it's worth. And listen, this ain't no bash toward mothers. No bash, no type of slander. Only the truth here. And it either applies to you or it don't. It's that simple. You know what I mean? It ain't rocket science. But already just look at how the days are even treated. Let's start there. But before we start there, welcome back to another dope session of Footies the Podcast. I'm the host, the God Rashidi, coming at you live from the Skill Suite. Maybe not so live, we coming at you, man. Let's put one in the air for Hoodies the Podcast. Alright, where was I? We're going to skip a few things, at least for now anyway. So listen, there are fathers, you know what I'm saying, who are the biological father of the kids that's in the house, right? And maybe you've witnessed this, maybe you've been the father, maybe you were the child, maybe you was the woman, but you may have seen it. Maybe a man has expressed this to you before. But every time, right, that both, say, the husband and the wife, the mother and the father, the man and the woman, gets into a little kerfuffle, some kind of, emotional / verbal squabble. You ever notice how the children generally, typically gravitate toward the moms? I'm not saying moms don't deserve no comfort, but let's not front and act like a lot of the times moms be wrong. A lot of the times mom started that shit. Excuse my language. Ain't supposed to curse within a certain amount of minutes on your content because it messes up the algorithm or something like that. But ain't nothing been working. All the stuff I've been like looking up and researching, ain't none of it been working. So I'm gonna just go ahead and cut outside the lines with it. So fuck it, right? But listen, moms be wrong, dead ass wrong. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that moms don't deserve comfort, but moms was dead ass wrong. She started that shit. She wrong. And she knows she wrong. Meanwhile, Pops, who was right, is over in the corner somewhere. And I don't mean literally in the corner, but I mean in the corner somewhere. Like, damn, what about me? You know what I mean? Damn, word. But of course you can't verbalize that or express that because, of course, now you're looked at as being soft. You're looked at as being weak now. Nah, man, it's just that men got feelings too. Don't get me started on the stepfathers. Woo! Don't imagine pouring in to some churn that ain't yours, right? And by the way, it takes a special kind of man to, you know what I'm saying, not only get with a woman with kids, but it takes a special kind of man to pour into some youngins that are not his. You know what I'm saying? And then to do all of that, and then you got to hear things like, you ain't my daddy. I'm not saying mothers don't get it. This ain't about the mothers. But it happens. But you ain't my daddy? I just combed your hair, took you to school, got you there on time. Well, first I woke you up that morning for school, combed your hair, got you to school on time, fed you, making sure you look right. Ain't no white stuff on the side of your face. You ain't my daddy. I ain't gotta listen to you. You ain't my daddy. I ain't gotta listen. Word. Not to mention you break up with the moms and the kids. They don't even know your ass no more. Father figures like mentors, coaches, uh, you know, chess coaches, football, basketball, boxing, all these coaches. If you are a coach and you deliver, I'm not saying this is, I don't want to make the mistake of painting this with a broad brush because it's not in every case. But the minute you tell the moms, and one who's particularly a single mother, some discrepancies she got going on with her son, that can be a problem. That can be a problem. And I ain't no therapist, no psychiatrist, or nothing like that, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that there's some mothers, particularly single mothers, typically single mothers, not all, who will take it more to heart. Because if you're, the son's mentor, the child's mentor, and you coach them, whatever. So anything you tell the mom is it's all coming from a good place. It's all something the coach, the mentor feels compelled to let the moms know, hey, this is what your son's dealing with. This is how he's talking. This is how he's moving. This is what I see. This is what I think should happen. Or this is, is everything all right at home? Because I noticed the whoop is how you carrying and moving. There are some mothers that could be a problem. And it could be a problem because I'll just say that just because mothers get custody, that doesn't necessarily mean that that son is being fed, if you will. It doesn't necessarily mean that he's being properly loved on. And with all due respect, a lot of mothers know it too. And which is why they will become defensive. Somewhere, something happened that they feel contributed to that son's behavior. So when you come to her with it, you're trying to say, what? Ain't no. It can be now. And then sometimes, hey, come here, son. You, the coach, and the mother, and the son can actually have some dialogue and actually, come to a conclusion to rectify behavior, or what the language he's using, his demeanor, and if we notice something's off about the youngin, we can actually get somewhere and solve it. Anybody know what I'm talking about? We go through a lot as men. And notice I'm talking about fathers, stepfathers, father figures like mentors and coaches and things like that. I'm talking about stand-up men. I'm talking about stand-up men. Men who I like to refer to as being on their square. If you're mentoring, you know what I mean? If you're that father figure, that coach or whatever, that means you saw a need and you filled it. You saw, there was a need, a void, if you will, and you filled it. You filled that void. You chose to step up and lead. You know what I'm saying? To lead some youth, whether it's boys or girls. Salute to you for that. Stepfathers, salute to you for stepping in and deciding to pour into some youngins that ain't yours. And it could go either way. Because just like I mentioned, there's some offspring who, you ain't my daddy. There's also some who love the hell out of their stepdads. They honor them, cherish them. So I don't want to just talk about the disparaging aspect of being a stepfather. There's some really rewarding moments where a son or a daughter will never forget that. I know quite a few actually. So it's kind of a mixed bag for me. I know a lot of women whose stepfather was their father and still do things to this day to honor, stepdad. Because stepdad was on his square and he stepped in to lead. And then the fathers who are the point guards in their own home, the leader in their own home. I salute all of you. But it's not always rewarding. But just like, again, I've spoken of the times that the not so good experiences, there are also a lot of beautiful ones. A lot of beautiful experiences where a mother, where, hey, children won't know a damn thing about the dispute moms and pops is having in the first place. So there is no side to take. That's a beautiful thing. There is no side for the youngins to take because the kids don't know what the fuck is going on. They've kept it amongst themselves. Both the man and the woman. In that case, both parties are on their square. You know what I mean? But yes, Father's Day is every day. But listen, if you are a father, stepfather, father figure, mentor, in the form of a mentor and shit like that, and for whatever reasons, right? For whatever reasons, nobody has told you that you matter, then I'll tell you. You matter. You matter. You matter more than you think you do. It's just, people are just people. You know what I mean? And my advice, even though sometimes it can be a daunting task, hey, every now and then reevaluate your why. Because sometimes when you're unappreciated, maybe you need to move on. You know what I mean? To some place where you may be appreciated. I don't know. Only you know what that means for you. But I get the feeling. I know listen, for the record, for the fathers who weren't on their square, I get that too. I don't condone it, but I get that too, fam. I get being afraid to step up and be a dad. I get it. It's work involved. I mean, you laid down and made it happen. So you should rise to the occasion, and you should have been safer, took better precautions, both you and the mother. But I get it nonetheless. Shout out to all my sons, who I'm extremely grateful and honored to have a relationship with. You know what I mean? I think of, some of the kerfuffles me and my oldest son have had, throughout the years. And, sometimes we tend to have an off and on type of thing. But I'm truly honored to have a special relationship with all my sons, And see, Father's Day, like the actual so-called day of Father's Day, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I stay communicating with my son. So it's almost redundant a little bit for me. Like, I keep, a chess.com, my bad. I keep a chess.com game going with my third born. You know what I'm saying? We got a game going on right now. You know what I'm saying? I keep, I guess what I'm saying is I love on them. They love on me. My second born has absolutely no idea that sometimes he'll call me, right? And say, I don't really want nothing, Pop. Just want to say I love you. Yo, sometimes I'll be having to take a moment because I'll tear up and shit. Dead ass. Because I'm just honored, man. I'm honored that, hey, man, I did something right. You know, I did something right. Because the other side of this thing, some some brothers, some of our fathers, um, have had, a pretty rough past, childhood. Their quality of life as a youngin' probably wasn't the best in the world, and as a result of that, some of them have indulged in, harsh drugs, and so now in their latter years, some of them may not necessarily have the capacity. Some, I guess, some of them. Let's just say they have some ways about them, and it could be because of the hard past or just simply age. Folk get stubborn and stuck in their ways. But some people, listen, you can't choose your fathers, but you only get one. So respect your pop. Respect your pop, fam. Love your pop. Forgive your pop. However, I get choosing, I get having made the choice to love them from afar. Sometimes that may be necessary. And I'm saying that because a lot of our parents, some of them never unlearned certain things. Hey, listen, our parents are people too, with a past. Some of them are still dealing with trauma and the way they were treated and the way they see things. You know what I mean? Y'all get what I'm saying here. Some of us got, well, parents, period, but we're talking about fathers here. Some of us have fathers that never made good on some shit they did when we were kids. Maybe some things they said, maybe they never made good. So, out of respect and not wanting to curse them out, you may feel like, you know what? I'm gonna love you from afar. I'm gonna poof you, meaning I ain't rocking with you, but I still love you, and I'll just love you from afar because I have to create that boundary. Let's not forget about mental health, period. Boundaries and shit gotta be made. You know what I mean? They gotta be made. They have to. And boundaries aren't there to punish people. Boundaries are there to show people how to handle you. There's certain things you shouldn't have to put up with. As much as, fathers deserve to be honored for their provision of safety, you know what I'm saying? And amongst other things, the lessons they provide with wisdom and things like that. Well, they're also human, which means, relationships with our fathers can be strained. We could also be estranged with our fathers because, hey, some of them probably don't fuck with you because you voted for Trump or you voted for Kamala. Or it could be for religious reasons. There's all kinds of reasons why family members and people don't rock with each other. All kinds of just things. I would say the steak just ain't worth the sizzle. It's really not worth. It's just, but the human brain is something else, man. That's why I always talk about it so much. I'm fascinated with how the human brain works. It's a trip. Shout out to women, who's had who have rather these wonderful relationships with their fathers. Shout out to the women. Well, shout out to people, men and women, who were once estranged with their fathers and now they've decided to give that father a chance. Just to, you know what I mean? You only get one. You only get one. And look, the stores on the idiot box, just even other men. We just, Father's Day just doesn't slap in the hearts of people like Mother's Day does. And I get it. It's nothing like it's nothing like the nurturing of a woman. It's nothing like a woman's touch, a mother's touch. You know, all true things, this, right? But there's nothing like the structure, nothing like the strong hand. You know what I mean? Nothing like the protection and the safety that a father provides. You know, and if you ever want to know one of the ways to a man's heart, respect that man. Respect him. Even when you're mad, respect that man. I'm talking to girlfriends, wives. You know, I'm also talking to sons and daughters. Respect that man. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's perfect. If you don't fuck with your pops like that, you ain't got to disrespect them. Maybe you just may need to create a boundary. You know, I get it. Trust me, I get it. Not all fathers are created equal. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of our parents come from an era where I don't remember. What you talking about? Or why you always start mess? Or why don't you just let it go? Some of them come from that era. I don't remember, because I guess saying I don't remember is better than saying, yeah, I did it. And I'm sorry. I was a different person then. I was fucked up. You know? And as crazy as it may sound, forgive them anyway. Not for them, but for you. Listen, fam, I ain't carrying that shit around. I ain't carrying around no past shit. I mean, granted, it's always gonna be there, but you can. I think a testament of a person who's healed, or at least trying to heal in a particular area. I think a testament of a person healing, or who is healed, is when you take the shit that was done to you and you use it as a tool to maybe teach somebody. Use it to say, yo, my man, I've been there too. Instead of carrying it and being angry, and all kinds of negative with it, passive aggressive, or just or taking what was done to you and now you're doing it to others. You know what I'm saying? I think using it as a tool to teach, it's a no-brainer. It's way better. Way better, man. Use it. Father, stepfather, father figure. You know? So I think I got it all out. Salute to all the fathers. You know, again, yes, my heart has softened. You know what I'm saying? So, which means, you know, on a Father's Day post, Mother's Day post, I'm going to say it. I'm going to stop with the Mother's Day is every day. Father's Day is every day. True indeed. It is. True indeed. True indeed, God. It is. But that the whole mental health thing, because believe it or not, there are mothers who aren't necessarily appreciated. Yes, there's a lot of fanfare about it, but not every mother's appreciated. You know? So yeah. For the mental health aspect of it, some folk may need to be told, Happy Mother's Day. You're doing a wonderful job. You are great with your daughter, with your son. You're doing a great job. Because mothers, just like fathers, stepfathers, father figures, you know, mentors and things like that, sometimes, you know, this ain't about the mothers. I'm going to get off it. Sometimes a mother, even though she's so active and she's smiling and all, but I'm sure a mother has to be wondering, am I really setting a good example? Am I really making a difference in my son or daughter's life? Or am I just fucking spinning my wheels? And so sometimes people do need to be told, sister, you right where you need to be. You are a wonderful mother. You are a wonderful mother. I like how you made your son do whoop-de-whoop and your daughter, you know, wear that long dress instead of that other one. That's what's up. You be on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, my sister's an excellent mother. There's a lot of excellent mothers, but we ain't talking about mothers. But back to the fathers. You know what I'm saying? You matter. All right? You matter. Regardless of how funny them fucking kids act. You matter. Even if they don't tell you, I'll tell you. You matter. You matter, man. All right? You matter. Sawa? Sawa. So real quick, man. Real quick before we get into some talk about the NBA. So remember I was talking about Jaylen Brown. I was talking about how, he said he was going to stay in Boston. He said he wasn't going to take no extravagant vacation. He was going to stay in Boston, work out this, that, and the third. Well, one thing I didn't, real quick, I know I just got off the segment with fathers, but if you are a father figure, stepfather, father figure, stepfather, whatever. If nothing that was just said, if nothing anybody says is enough to bring you out of possible depression because you don't feel as though you matter. Last episode I spoke about 800 numbers for suicide prevention. It was also brought to my attention that you can also dial 988 from any phone. 988. Okay, and it'll connect you to a suicide prevention and it'll connect you to a suicide prevention and crisis support center. 988. All right. Let's move on. So listen. So yeah, Jaylen Brown had over just I'm not sure. No, actually, I want to say not this past Wednesday, but last Wednesday. Don't matter. He had arthroscopic surgery on his right knee Wednesday, and the team said he is expected to be available when training camp starts without limitation. Remember, a few episodes back, I said that I guess their exit interview, he talked about how he had, I think, a partially torn meniscus. So I believe, excuse me, I believe that surgery, which seems to be minor if they're talking like that, it seems that surgery was to correct that. Right? So there's more. Or is there? Yeah, it talked about how he remember I was telling y'all that he had a pain injection in his knee right before the playoffs started. That was back in March. You know what I'm saying? So that's about it. Talks about how he's scheduled to make $53 million next season. You know what I'm saying? That'll be the second season of his 5-year, $304 million contract, which is the richest in NBA history. Yeah. So yeah, man, that's all I got to say about Jaylen Brown. Also, I'm gonna come back to that. Oof, I missed a lot, but we'll get there. DeMarcus Cousins. I remember DeMarcus Cousins. I think he used to play for the Warriors at one point in time. So DeMarcus Cousins was apparently playing for a Puerto Rican team. That's what's up. I like when players, you know what I'm saying, if not picked up by the NBA, I like it when they go overseas and can still get paid from playing ball. That's what's up. I like that. Anyway, so this is what happens. What happened. This dude got suspended during a game. And let me tell you why he got suspended. So I'm under the impression that he was getting heckled by some of the fans. And DeMarcus Cousins got so frustrated. This brother, right? He scratched his balls and then made a fan sniff his hands during a serious altercation, which led to a suspension for the rest of the season from his basketball team. Okay? At a hold on, let me try to pronounce this. I don't want to rush this. At a Mets de Guayanabo game in Puerto Rico, professional basketball. No, I'm sorry. In In the hold on. In the Puerto Rican Professional Basketball League on June 9th, Cousins got into an argument with fans after he approached someone who presumably been heckling him. The video appears to show him digging in his genital area. I don't have the video. I'm not going to show that. Digging in his genital area, pressing him in front of the person's face, causing them to react angrily. And then he was ejected after that. There's probably some other crap going along with it. There was probably some other crap going on. But listen, man, let me tell you something. You want to know about the lowest form of disrespect? And granted, fans start throwing drinks and stuff at him. I'm not necessarily sure which one happened first. It don't matter, fam. If all they was doing was heckling, you kidding me? You mean to tell me you reached in your pants, scratched your balls, and made another person smell it? You kidding me? Man, listen. I love my people. You off the fucking team, fam. I love my people, but for some shit like that, it wasn't done to me. You off the fucking team. Nah, son. Nah. Nope. You gotta go. You gotta go, man. You scratched your balls. And I don't care if you went in there and didn't really scratch your balls. You just reached in your pants and put it in my face. And if I'm the fan, nope. You gonna get drinks. Ain't no weapons allowed in these stadiums. I don't know about Puerto Rico, but it's a good thing. It's a real good thing. That's crazy, fam. Right? Another thing before we get into the finals. Let's see. Trade rumors. Let's talk about trade rumors. The Celtics are willing to listen to trade offers for Jaylen Brown and Derek White. You believe that? Jaylen Brown and Derek White? Are teams making big offers and calling about Jaylen Brown and Derek White? 100%. The Celtics prefer not to trade them, but from my understanding, but listen, if they make a big offer, they're willing to look at everything. I guess with this, whoever posted this is Shams. He posted this on Hooper. I guess what he's trying to say, he must have been excited when he wrote that. What he's trying to say is the Celtics don't want to trade him, but if you give him a trade offer so good, you may have to, like the Marcus Smart and getting Kristaps Porzingis. Come on, man. It was almost a no-brainer. And then getting Drew Holiday there. It was almost a no-brainer. That was an offer worth getting rid of Marcus Smart. And I fucks with Marcus Smart heavy. I like him. He was the team's goon. You know what I'm saying? So that's the image. I mean, not the image, but that's the word on that. I got a couple things. Also, another rumor, right? As per Hoops Alert, says that it's very possible that if the Celtics trade Drew Holiday to the Kings, remember a couple episodes back I said the Kings want Drew Holiday? So listen, here as per Hoops Alert is saying that if the Celtics trade Drew Holiday to the Kings, they'll be receiving DeMar DeRozan in the deal to fill the gap at the forward spot with Tatum out. I think I'm liking that. I like DeMar DeRozan. Yeah. DeMar DeRozan and Jaylen Brown, Derek White. I wonder if Horford will still be there. I know it's early. You know what I mean? Ain't even off season yet. But yeah, I've even heard an alert talking about Giannis. Yeah, right here. Celtics and Bucks could swap Giannis for Jaylen Brown. I like Giannis. I like him. He is a force to be reckoned with. And he's another player we've seen get a little better every season of his career. Right? I don't want Giannis in Boston. Which is why I couldn't be a GM. Because I like these guys. I don't want to trade them. You know what I'm saying? And you got to take feelings out when you're dealing. This is all business. You got to take your feelings out of it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want Giannis. I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? So, I think that's it. I think I covered everything. Yeah, we talked about Brown, all that good stuff. So yeah. Hold on. Did I get everything? Yeah, at least for now. So yeah, man. Enough about the rumors and things of that nature. And listen, Jaylen Brown, speedy recovery, brother. You know what I'm saying? I hope everything goes well, no complications. I'm looking forward to seeing you back out on the floor representing the team. So yeah, about the finals. The series is tied 2-2. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad it did that. I'm glad. I still got OKC winning the series. But I tell you one thing, man, them Pacers are proven to be a lot tougher than what we all thought. They're probably a lot tougher than they thought. You know what I'm saying? But it's a great series. There's just something about the Oklahoma City team that just seems more refined. You know what I mean? Just more refined than the Pacers. And the Pacers are pretty refined. Rick Carlisle? He's a pretty decent coach. And OKC's coach. So I'm saying I got OKC winning, but that's because I like the team. I like seeing the camaraderie with them young brothers. I like SG. I like his swag. I ain't gonna front like his swag. I like how he carries himself on the court. I like how he never seems phased. I like how his teammates trust him. You know what I'm saying? And I think he's so worthy of being MVP this year. You know? So I'm just of the belief that I just want that team to win. However, I'm not necessarily sure. It's even, and yeah, so it could go either way. However, the first team to have to accumulate 3 losses, I'm trying to watch how I say that now. Little bro know what I'm talking about. But if the first team to go down, well, not go down, but the first team to acquire 3 losses will be the team to go on to not win the series. In fact, they won't go on at all. So if the Pacers or the Thunder get their 3rd loss tonight, as a matter of fact, man, I'm looking forward to that. If it happens tonight, if OKC accumulates their 3rd loss tonight, they're not going to win the series. And vice versa with the Pacers. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the level of play from these two teams. Small market teams. I'm rocking with it. I'm rocking with it, man. I like it. You know? That's about all I got to say. I would call little bro, but it's not a lot to be said. There's just not a lot to be said. I also think I read earlier that Desmond Baines from the Memphis Grizzlies was traded to Orlando for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, KCP. Now he's gone over there to the Grizzlies, which will probably make sense because Ja Morant could use a seasoned veteran in the league to check his ass when he on some silly shit. I mean that with all due respect. You know, he may need a veteran, somebody who ain't gonna be scared to let you know, hey, you fam, you bugging. You bugging right now. You need to slow down. For real, you need to slow down. You need to take it easy. So, I'm almost liking that. I'm almost liking it. So, that's about all I got. That's about all I got right now. As far as the NBA is concerned, man. There isn't much to say. What's game for? Game 5. Game 5 is tonight. Was it 5, 4? Anyway, game is on tonight. Looking forward to it. It's back in Oklahoma tonight. So, man, looking forward to a great game. Looking forward to a great game. And that's about all I got to say about that. I hope y'all are enjoying the finals and all that good stuff. Yeah. So real quick, I just want to put this out there, back on the fathers and Father's Day and all that. Something I found interesting. A school in Dallas asked fathers to attend a breakfast for young boys who didn't have fathers of their own. And more than 600 fathers showed up. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get all the caption. I guess that's all we need. We pretty much got the gist of it. But I thought this was beautiful, man. I thought this was extremely beautiful. Fathers are so needed, man. So needed. And fathers matter, fam. You know? And I think that's all I got on that. I think that's all I got. So real quick, I ain't gonna stay too much longer. I'm gonna get out of here. So if you are a man that's on his square, who's on his square, you know, meaning in your right mind, in your right sound mind. Well, if you're in your right mind, I'm of the belief that look, I'm getting Father's Day texts. Yeah. So if you're in your right mind, as far as I'm concerned, it's a sound mind. Be a father figure. Be a mentor. These kids need it. But if you're on your square, then I probably don't have to tell you that. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. I want to thank y'all for watching. Thank you for listening. Thanks for listening to me babble. Shout out to everybody who's got some things going on that don't nobody else know about. You know what I'm saying? Happy born day to anybody that's got a birthday today. You know what I'm saying? Whether you've been here a while or you fresh out the womb. I salute you. New life, more life. You know what I'm saying? Happy born day to you, man. You know what I'm saying? Have a great day today. There's nobody else with your fingerprint. You're one of one. You know what I mean? My condolences go out to anyone who's lost a loved one. Shout out to the memory and the legacy of Ananda Lewis. You know what I'm saying? May she rest well. I believe she was about 51, 52. Very close to myself in age. I believe breast cancer was her cause of death. I would encourage everyone, a lot of women, get your mammograms, get your exams. I believe she tried the holistic approach and later on grew to regret doing that. Look, I'm all for, and I don't want to get too deep into that, but I'm all for folk who handle health the way they see fit, and it may work. You know, it may be of some benefit, you know, or it may not. It may be of some benefit for a time, and sometimes, regardless of what you do, if you don't catch certain things in time, it's too late anyway. So, because just like holistic methods don't work, there are conventional methods that don't work. You know, like chemotherapy and things those things aren't guaranteed to work. You know, so shout out to her and my condolences to her family and friends and such. Yeah, man. So shout out once again to Brother Ozell. Thank y'all once again for watching. You know, it's been real. It's been a pleasure, man. And happy Father's Day. You matter. And that's all I gotta say about that, man. Y'all stay up, man. Thank you for watching once again. I'm the God Rashidi. And this is Hoodies, man. Sawa. Peace. Hey. This is Hoodies. Oh, and Sawa means okay in Swahili. But siwezi kusema Swahili mingi. I only know a little bit of Swahili. Peace.